So welcome again on behalf of TB Europe Coalition. This is our New Year party, which we decided to organize to see you again at the end of the year. And this is our annual meeting with members of TB Europe Coalition. And today we have the opportunity to offer interpretation. We have two language channels, English and Russian. I'm sure you know how to use interpretation function. You can choose the glow button and then the language channel which you prefer. And now let me briefly introduce myself. I'm Alexandra Vasilenko, PR manager of TBEC. We will try today not to overload you, not to overwhelm you with business data. We try to make it informal, but we will try to share some interesting facts and data, which you will be in the position to use in your work. But before we start, I'm happy to pass the floor to the chair of the board of TB Europe Coalition, Mr. Sommerfeld. Paul, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Alia, and a happy Christmas and New Year to you. This is the first time I'm trying a party on Zoom, so at least I've managed to find the right headgear, if nothing else. So I'm looking forward to seeing all the rest of you all dolled up and having fun, and remembering that we've actually had quite a good year as TB Europe Coalition. And this is a time for fun and not too much hard work. So looking forward to the rest of this morning's party.
Большое спасибо. Большое спасибо.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And
Дорогие друзья, для того, чтобы познакомиться чуть ближе с вами, мы
Okay, and now, dear friends, to have a closer introduction, let us peep into the process, procedures of work of our secretariat, and then we will speak a little bit more about the work. So this is going to be a short 1-minute video about us, and I will ask my colleagues to show it. It is in Russian, but due to our professional interpreters, I'm sure that those who follow us in English will see what that's about. Just a second, colleagues. Let's start. Can you see my screen now? Yes, let's go. You know us at work, and now let's see how it happens behind the curtains. We have a hard-working boss, and we support her. We think in the same trend, and we look in the same direction. We are inspired with high speeches, and we are flowing over the routine. But sometimes we do beg. Is it possible not to rewrite this document for the 5th time? Or we are surprised. Shall we launch that campaign the day after tomorrow? Yes, we have, because we need to be the best. And then we just need to joyfully undertake the tasks and excel. And that's how you know us. And it doesn't matter what's behind the curtains, behind the scenes, with respect and gratitude for your support from the Secretariat. This is a short video about our life behind the curtains. And now let me introduce the characters who you saw in this video. Maybe you don't know us well enough yet. Recently, we've been holding the campaign to expand the range of coalition members, so maybe some of you see us for the first time. Yulia Kalenchai, Executive Director for TB Europe Coalition. Hello, colleagues, I'm glad to see you. And we have 2 program managers, and this is Veset Onkonov, that's me, hello, and Vlada Rabinova. Hello, and we are happy to see you all here. Multifunctional specialist for financial aspects, and now she showed the video, Katya Solovyova. Hello. and our administrative manager who does all the work behind the scenes. This is Olesya Morhan.
Здравствуйте, привет всем.
Hello. So that's our small and friendly team of the Secretariat. I'm glad that we have met each other and we have got to know each other better. And now we can proceed with more serious stuff that may be interesting. So let me emphasize the bonuses and advantages that members of TBEC have. And now I ask my colleagues to start the presentation. Let's go to the next slide. Being a member of the coalition, well, maybe some of you have been member of the coalition for years, but maybe you don't know about all the benefits and bonuses that are available. So let me briefly remind you about them. Next slide. So we highlight the most important things which may be helpful for you in your day-to-day work. Being a member of the coalition, you get access to the newest and the most relevant information in the field of combating TB. Above all, this happens due to our mailing updates, and you know that we try to, as quickly as possible, disseminate information about new financial opportunities, about new achievements in the field of combating TB, news, updates of large international organizations, results of trials, new publications, and so on and so forth. And we are always grateful to those who do read our newsletters and share their feedback. And members of the coalition always have priority access to exclusive new materials and resources developed by the European Coalition. Above all, that's about advocacy materials for civil society and communities, informational and educational materials, and educational manuals, training manuals, and we have several online tools that you can use. And above all, we offer this opportunity to coalition members. Let's go to the next one. And happily, the pandemic is over, and the humankind can recall how offline events feel. And you see that this year we've been doing that quite actively. And members of TBEC have the advantages regarding participation in regional offline events that are organized by the European Coalition. I believe that some of you have already taken part in our regional meetings, country visits, in training events, and I hope that next year, during the next years, we will catch up with where we lagged behind during the pandemic, and we will expand that. Also, you have the opportunity to enhance visibility, your personal visibility and that of your organizations, by presenting interesting and relevant topics for communities and civil society at training events that are organized by TBEC. You definitely know that we hold a lot of online events that are aimed at developing capacity of civil society, and we will be grateful if you show initiative, if you approach the Secretariat with any suggestions about some interesting themes that in the process of your work may become relevant, where you have achieved something, you have interesting results, outcomes. And if your theme seems relevant for the region, we will focus on it, and it may be a separate thematic webinar. That also includes offline events, large conferences where we also organize sessions where you can speak, and we will be grateful to you there. Next one. And of course, your expert contribution is very important for us. Above all, this is about work at the national level, because you know best what happens in your countries, and only by joining efforts we can move on and promote national advocacy. We are grateful to everyone who involves into the process, advocacy process at the regional and international levels. This is an interesting theme that we will address early next year. This is election of the new board. For the next 3 years, my colleagues will speak about that in more detail. Let me just mention that members of TBEC can be candidates for members of the board, and also they are actually expected to vote at this voting, so that in the next period we had the most outstanding and worthy representatives of civil society and communities on our board. As you know, we always help to provide advisory support. This may not cover some specific programs or projects, but we will be happy to meet you and to talk to you and to think about how to address certain issues or some controversial aspects that you may encounter in the course of advocacy work. And we do provide the services to many of you already, and that's always very interesting and nice, and we will be happy to continue doing that. And do contact us. We will always find a way to do that, and we will look for the best ways to address that. And as you know, apart from rights, people also have, but I would say the duties of TBEC members, this is not so much about responsibility, burden of responsibility. That's an opportunity.
Состоять в том, чтобы сотрудничать с нами в качестве национального лица в тех вопросах, которые связаны с национальной адвокацией. Вы знаете, у нас есть проекты, которые реализовываются в том числе в странах. Мы организовываем и визиты в страны, и встречи с лицами, принимающими решения в странах. Очень важна ваша экспертная поддержка в этих вопросах. Пожалуйста, подключайтесь. Также мы очень рады всегда, когда вы проявляете интерес и активность в участии
visits, free events and country visits, and we involve regional consultations. So that makes it possible for you at the national level to be always one step ahead and to find out what's happening in the world, what is new.
Всегда приветствуем. Широко распространять информацию, которой мы с вами делимся. Мы тратим достаточно много времени и усилий для того, чтобы эту информацию подготовить, особенно если речь касается
This is what we always welcome when you share the information that we present to you, and we do it to make sure that as many people as possible can get this information. Maybe these people are not part of TB Europe coalition, but we count on TBEC members that they will be sharing this information in their countries. So because our task is to build the capacity of civil society and communities in the region to make sure that at the global level we can be the winners in the fight against tuberculosis. And one more thing that we want to underline is that we will be happy if you are part of any activities. Also, you can offer your own initiatives and share your own ideas. We will be encouraging and welcoming them. And now I think that we will talk about our next board elections, and I am giving the floor to Олеся Мухрана. Over.
Здравствуйте еще раз всех приветствую.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Я начну с того, что с напоминания, что
To
срок
start, I
полномочий
would like to
нашего
remind you
правления сейчас подходит к концу,
now
и
the term
нам
of the current
необходимо
board is
избрать новых членов
almost
правления,
over, so we
которые
will
будут
need
работать на
to
протяжении
elect
следующих
the
3
new
лет.
board to work during the
Я в
next
этой
3
презентации
years.
скажу немного,
In
напомню о
my
главных
presentation,
обязанностях нашего
I
правления, а
will talk a
также
little
об
bit
основных
about
сроках и как будет
key
проистекать
duties
сами
of the
выборы
board members
правления.
and also about the process
Итак,
of
напомню,
the board
что
elections.
правление — это наш высший
So,
руководящий орган
our
ЕКТБ, и
board
он
is
несет
the highest
всю
decision-making body
юридическую
of TB
ответственность
Europe
за работу
coalition, and it
всей
holds all
коалиции.
the legal responsibility for the
Оно,
work of
правление,
TBEC.
обеспечивает стратегическое,
So
операционное
it
и
ensures the strategic,
финансовую координацию и
operational, and
контроль за
financial
реализацией
coordination
стратегии
and
ЕКТБ.
control
То есть вы
over the
понимаете всю важность
implementation
и
of the coalition strategy. So
солидность
you see
этого органа.
how
В
important
составе
this
управления
body
сейчас у
is.
нас
And
13 членов.
currently we have
Опять-таки, они
13
избираются
members
каждые
of the
3
board.
года.
They are
И
elected every 3
получается, что
years.
наше нынешнее управление было выбрано в
The current
2021
board
году. И вот
was elected in
2024 год
2021.
будет годом
So
нового правления.
2024 will be the year when we elect our new board.
Хочу добавить, что
And I would like to add
в обязанности
say
управления
that
входит также проведение ежеквартальных созвонов, звонков. Обычно это проходит в Zoom, а также
usually we
встречи в конце
have
года,
a
которые
conference
часто
calls
проводятся
via
оффлайн,
Zoom
то есть
and also
вживую, но в связи, конечно, с
face-to-face
ситуацией прошлых
board
лет,
meetings.
связанных с
But of
ковидом,
course,
с
because of the
войной в
COVID
Украине.
pandemic,
Но в этом году, в 2023
and
году,
because of the
нам
war in
удалось...
Ukraine, there were some issues with the
Прошу прощения.
face-to-face meetings.
Есть, все хорошо. Нам удалось встретиться. Это было во
And we were
время
able to
конференции
meet
июня
this year during
в
the
Париже,
unit
во Франции.
conference in
И
Paris,
мы надеемся,
France.
что все-таки
And
эта
we hope
традиция будет
that
продолжаться в
we will
последующие годы.
continue this
То есть еще
tradition
раз,
of face-to-face
4
meetings in the coming years.
ежеквартальных
So
звонка
again,
на
there
год
are
и одна встреча
quarterly
управления
conference
вживую
calls,
в конце
which are
года.
online, and one face-to-face board meeting
Также
at the end of the year.
в правление
And
входит
also,
глава правления. Вы сегодня познакомились с ним, кто не знал, это Пол. И также есть
we
другие
have a
должностные лица,
chair of the
такие как
board, so
два
you met him
заместителя.
today. This is Paul, who
Или
was
3. Это
addressing
уже
you
будет
before, and
решать новое
also
правление. Но все
there are deputy
будет
chairs of the
решать новое
board. There
правление.
will be 2 or 3
Можно,
deputy
пожалуйста,
chairs.
следующий слайд?
The new members of the board will make a decision on that.
Спасибо.
And the next slide, please.
Итак, касательно сроков выборов правления в этом году.
As for
Ориентировочно в
the
середине января
time frame
мы,
for
то есть
the board
секретариат,
elections
делает объявление
in late
емкое с
January,
детальным
usually
описанием всей процедуры и
there
всех
is an
требований к
announcement
кандидатам,
with a
которые
detailed
хотят податься
description
на участие в правлении. Я сейчас скажу, что основными
of the
требованиями для участия
requirements to the
в
board
выборах
members,
должны
and
быть следующие.
the
Первое – это кандидат должен быть членом ЕКТБ, то есть убедиться нужно в том, что вы являетесь членом
requirements is
коалиции,
that the
а
candidate
если
is
нет,
the
то
member of
зарегистрироваться у нас на
your
сайте.
coalition. And if you're not a member, you
Пожалуйста,
need to
перейдите на наш сайт, там
register
все
at our
очень-очень ясно и
website.
доступно, и это
You
займет
can
буквально 1 минуту
see all the
регистрации.
information,
То есть
and the
активные члены
registration will take
ЕКТБ,
just 1
также
minute.
нужно владеть английским языком.
So also it is important to know English,
Также кандидат должен указать
and the
страну своего
candidate
происхождения и
also
написать
needs
краткую
to
биографию. Ну,
state the
это
country where he or
максимум
she is from,
полстраницы.
and share a short
Хочу еще
bio.
добавить, что...
Олеся,
Да,
ты меня слышишь?
да.
Люди пишут в комментариях, что они слышат и
Alicia, can you
тебя,
hear me? People say that they
и переводчика одновременно. Ты на каком
hear
языке, на
you
каком канале?
and the interpreter. What channel are you using?
Секундочку.
Just a second.
Оригинальный сейчас. Слышно меня или на оригинальном канале слышно и перевод, и оригинал? Или нормально слышно? Подтвердите, пожалуйста.
На
Вот
оригинальном
сейчас
канале
вроде
только
сейчас уже хорошо.
Все слышно, да? Скажите, пожалуйста, слышно? Отлично. Хорошо. Итак, касательно требований к требований к участникам и к кандидатам. То есть, как вы поняли, их не очень много, но тем не менее нужно подготовиться. И когда мы объявим конкурс, сбор заявок будет длиться минимум 14 дней, 2 недели. То есть у вас будет достаточно времени, чтобы подготовиться. После этого секретариат будет внимательно изучать все заявки и следить за тем, чтобы в будущем правлении было гендерное и географическое разнообразие представлено всех участников. И после этого будет отобрано некое количество кандидатов, и будут проходить непосредственно выборы. Они будут проходить онлайн с помощью очень удобной платформы. Все члены коалиции, вы сможете ознакомиться с портфолио кандидатов и сделать свой выбор. Выборы также будут длиться приблизительно 2 недели. После этого мы огласим результаты где-то ориентировочно в начале марта. И после неких легальных, так сказать, шагов по легализации нового правления, оно приступит к работе и вступит в силу где-то в середине марта. То есть такие сроки, 1,5 месяца, скажем так, будут длиться выборы правления. Наверное, на этом основная информация я сказала. Если у вас есть какие-то вопросы, пожалуйста, задавайте. Ну и предлагаю вам рассмотреть это предложение для участия в выборах правления.
Спасибо, Олеся. Да, уважаемые друзья, мы будем очень благодарны за вашу активность в рамках процесса выборов. Мы очень рассчитываем, что у нас будет много достойных кандидатов в состав правления, а также, конечно, мы будем очень просить вас потратить буквально немного времени для того, чтобы выразить свою поддержку тем из кандидатов, кого вы бы хотели видеть в составе правления, когда до этого дойдет
Would like to become the board members when we have the voting. And now, to make our online meeting not so serious, because I know that people were concerned a bit, I would like to offer a quiz to you. So we have 3 questions for you about how well you know TB Europe coalition. So I will ask you all to answer these questions now, and then we will check the answers and we will have a discussion. So here you can see the quiz, right? Do you see the questions on the screen? So there are 3 questions with the different options, different responses. So far, we do not see anything. I do see. Maybe Yulia, you do not see because you're a co-host. No, I do not see either. Though I'm not a co-host. Well, but I see that some participants are responding. No, Christina, you should not be a co-host. You have a different status. Yeah, we're not sure what the issue is. I'm not. So, dear colleagues, if you do not see the quiz, you will see the option.
I see the first 2 questions, but when I click submit, nothing happens.
Там 3 вопроса должно быть.
There
Well,
should
maybe
be
you
3
could scroll
questions.
down and you'll see the 3rd question.
Questions seem to be in English, people are saying.
Давайте буквально еще 20 секунд подождем, у кого есть желание еще приобщиться к ответам на вопросы, и дальше я покажу вам результаты, мы посмотрим.
So 20 more seconds for you to answer the questions, and then let us check What abbreviation TBEC stands for, and when we will share our age with you and the country of our registration. Well, not the age of members of Secretariat. No, not that, of course. Okay, so I think that all people who wanted to give their answers, they did that. So let us check. Let us check the answers and can you see the results now on your screen? Yes, I see that you can. So as for the first question, I will not be commenting on that. Yes, of course, we are called TB Europe Coalition, that where the abbreviation TBEC is coming from. And as for the year or when our coalition was founded, as strange as it may be, next year we will celebrate 15 years from the very first steps that were checked, made. The year of when we were founded is 2009, actually. As for the country where TBEC was registered, it was registered in the Netherlands. And this country was selected because of the specifics of national legislation for registering the coalition, and also in 2000 we also registered TB Europe Coalition in Ukraine as well. So it is also a registered organization in Ukraine. And thank you for all your answers, and let us move forward. So we will share just briefly the results and the achievements in 2023. So I will be giving the floor to Olesa Tankanova. Thank you, Alia. Thank you, colleagues, for sharing and sharing how people can become members of our coalition. And I have the honor to share our success stories. It is always a great thing to talk about your success stories. And of course, we had a lot of challenges, but we coped with them. So TBEC developed a standardized package of services, of community-based support services to improve TB outcomes. And in 5 EECA countries, Azerbaijan, Belarus, Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan, and Ukraine, those standardized package and costing methodology were adapted and approved by the Ministries of Health. And as a result, in those countries, the social contracting mechanism was enabled through this initiative. And we thought that it would be good to standardize the services delivered by service providers. So we decided to develop an online course on this standardized package. And we are happy to say that this online course will be launched on the WHO learning platform at the beginning of 2024. Of course, it was very interesting to try delivering direct services, and we could do it through a UNICEF-funded project. And in 2022-2023, TBEC organized basic health care services for internally displaced children at 25 UNICEF Spilna points in 20 cities of Ukraine. And the services were provided by 50 selected doctors equipped with various portable medical equipment to provide these services. And TBEC developed a standard operating procedures, SOPs for doctors within this project. And as a result of this initiative, we are happy to say that more than 4 120,000 children and mothers in Ukraine were provided with basic health services, including medical vouchers organized by TBEC. And the next slide, please. TBEC, jointly with the WHO Regional Office for Europe and with the national tuberculosis programs, with communities and CSOs, were able to develop the algorithm of data collection for the 4 WHO Europe indicators to measure the level of engagement of communities and CSOs in the national TB response, included in the new TB action plan. And this algorithm was developed due to 2 main reasons. The first is that we wanted to try to unify this process of data collection. And the second reason was that those indicators will help us to measure the level of engagement of CSOs and communities in TB response and get some evidence-based. In 2023, TBEC, again, together with the WHO Europe and with communities and CSOs in the countries, had a pilot in 3 countries, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, and Ukraine. And as a result of this pilot, TBEC developed a regional guide on data collection. And we included those issues that we encountered, the lessons learned, and the best practices that we were able to get through this project.
ЕКТБ является основным партнером от гражданского
TBEC is the main civil society partner in WHO region on behalf of civil society for implementing MAFTB. So at the first look, it made this abbreviation, this term may sound intimidating, but actually this is, well, let me quote our colleague, this is about friendship. This is about friendship among the sectors. This is about interaction and cooperation. In 6 countries of the region, you can see the countries on the slide, MAFTB was initiated and the baseline assessment was conducted. Let me mention that the work in those countries didn't stop there. It's continuing in line with the following, with the next key steps according to WHO guidelines. And based on assessment held in 5 countries, our team prepared a scientific publication, and this is our first experience that we would like to try, and we've tried that already. So we prepared this academic paper, and now we are negotiating with a journal that's going to publish our paper. And of course, we will share the news with you next year. Technical assistance. TBEC is a service provider for short-term and long-term technical assistance, in the process of which we support a significant involvement of civil society and communities.
Команда проекта оказала поддержку, техническую поддержку
The project's team provided technical support for 4 countries of our region in preparing the applications for JSC.
Оказали техническую помощь в Таджикистане и Узбекистане в процессе выборов в СКК. А также в Украине и Молдове наша техническая помощь была сосредоточена на развитии технических и адвокационных навыков.
Technical and advocacy skills in the process of holding and using data obtained in the course of monitoring that is community based. Let's go to the next slide. And of course, we could not but not mention strengthening the voice of communities and CSOs, and thus we continue working on increasing advocacy, boosting advocacy potential of CSO representatives and community representatives. We have launched the ABC for a TB activist initiative. Many of you have probably attended the series of webinars. This is 1 hour webinars on the most relevant topics relating to TB activities. We started a mentoring program for CSO and community representatives to strengthen their capacity in GPT chat functionality. We held quite extensive advocacy work in the region, preparing the high-level UN meeting on TB, which was held in September this year in New York. As a result, 4 CSO and community representatives were included in national delegations. Of course, we could not stay aside when the text of the political declaration was developed, improved, and there we made our contribution. We contributed our voice and our skills. And we would also like to boast, and we still open to your congratulations, and because TBEC joined the WHO Civil Society Commission, where it will mainstream TB issues. I believe this is it. We have boasted our main achievements, and I'm sure that in 2024 we will have even more of them, even more achievements, but we will aspire to do that together with you. Thank you, Lesa. And dear friends, of course, it is impressive how much work has been done during the year, but none of that could be completed or even started, initiated without your support and without collaboration with you. Most of our projects are implemented with the support of WHO Europe Office and PASS Center and our reliable countries, national organizations that unfortunately we cannot mention all of them now, but we never forget about your contribution and about what you have done better than us and together with us. And that is something that makes it possible for us to move forward. This is your support and our collaboration. That's the idea and the mission of our coalition. So with this presentation, we express our gratitude for the work that you are doing together with us. And let's move on in the same spirit. And now, to have a bit of rest before we plan work of the coalition for the next year, here we have prepared 3 questions that will open that will be eye openers on who TBEC people are, so that they manage to prepare such impressive presentations for for the New Year party. So of course there are no correct or incorrect answers, but hopefully you will find it fun to answer these questions, because for us it was definitely fun when we compiled those questions. Let's take 1 minute per each question. Frankly speaking, I don't know how to comment on those, but let's just do that. Let's just answer the questions. Yulia will then comment on us on how many working hours members of the Secretariat invest. She will speak about that later. Now I'm not going to comment. I believe Paul will comment on that. Why, Paul? Okay. So anyway, that you have already read these questions and you have answered them. So let's see. Most of you believe that weekends are for the week. We don't think so, but we do work on a regular basis on weekends, and we actually do fit into 24/7. Very rarely we work 25/8, but that also happens. And thank you so much for your answers.
You certainly work very hard. And I no longer bother about whether it's weekend or not when I send you messages.
Так, хорошо, спасибо. И смотрите, у нас
thank you. And let's look at the next question. Definitely, you have never received from employees of the Secretariat this automatic response like, sorry,
если прямо не можете ждать.
vacations for for 3 weeks, so if you probably can address some of the colleagues. If you have seen that ever, send me a screenshot. So why does that happen? I see that nobody thinks that we don't have enough money for vacations, right? For some reason, you don't believe that. Why? We may have very fancy wishes for vacations. But anyway, let's see. Most people believe, think as we think, that without our work, life is boring. And we don't really need those poems. We want to work, to keep working. We are interested and engaged. But actually, of course, all of us, we love our job, no doubt there. And the very last question that for some reason, have I started it? Do you see a question now? No, we don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, for some reason I cannot start it, but let me try again. Oh, you know, it doesn't want to get started. Let me ask Alessia about what I should do there. Otherwise, I can just comment on that. Why we have this gender imbalance in the secretariat? That was the question. Okay. Now, do you see the question on your screen? No.
No.
I do see.
Uh-huh. I see Oksana in Moldova.
Олеся, что мне делать? Мне устно озвучивать или выключать? Что делать лучше?
Я думаю,
So
да,
what shall I
давайте,
do? Shall I comment?
пожалуйста, просто...
Олесь, а ты можешь запустить?
Давайте мы все-таки дадим шанс этому вопросу показаться на ваших экранах, потому что нам неоднократно задавали такие вопросы. Мы хотим сейчас прояснить эту ситуацию. В общем, вопрос этот, пока я вам анонсирую, варианты ответа, может быть, у Олеси удастся вывести на экран. Значит, он звучит таким образом, что почему в секретариате Европейской коалиции не работает ни одного мужчины, именно в секретариате. И знаете, мы хотели рассказать вам правду, но я думаю, это какая-то судьба, что этот опрос не запускается, потому что я опасалась нарушить какие-то границы, связанные с гендерной темой. Вот, но, в общем, не знаю, что мы делаем дальше. Наверное, мы проехали эту тему. Вот, можем только сказать, что да, что в командировках мы, как правило... О, теперь вы видите вопрос, видите, как хорошо? Но это только он другой, Олеся. Это про отпуск, и мы уже его проходили. Да, ну, не судьба так не судьба, но ничего страшного.
Аль, подожди секунду, мы не слышим переводчика на английском. Уважаемые коллеги-переводчики, у вас все хорошо со связью?
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Вот сейчас, да.
Yeah,
Спасибо.
maybe there was some issue with my colleague.
Спасибо.
I'm here with you. So let us move forward. We don't have so much time left, and we wanted to talk to you. Also, not just you listening to us. And I, first of all, would ask my colleague, Vlada Rabinova, to tell about the TBE Europe Coalition activities planned for 2024. Over. Thank you, Alia. And before I start my presentation, I wanted to share a comment on the comment of Daniel about the abbreviation. So the Banana Enthusiast Club. I think that we are enthusiasts in what we do, that's for sure. So I will try to share very quickly the main areas of our work planned for 2024. I would like to thank you again for being with us in 2023, and we hope that in 2024 we will have even more opportunities to meet with you, our dear partners partners and colleagues in your countries and hopefully in our country as well. In 2024, within our confirmed projects, we will focus on those areas of work that you can see on screen. We will continue the implementation of TB, the multi-sectoral accountability framework, this process will continue in some countries. In other countries, it will be just launched. So we will continue to be the leaders in implementing MAF-TB in our area in the region. Also, we plan to conduct an assessment to identify the gender impact on healthcare access for vulnerable populations, and this assessment will be piloted in Ukraine, and we will have a hope that there will be an impact also on other countries of the region. We will keep you informed about this part of our work because we are making efforts to work on gender issues, but still it is very relevant. And the next activity is community-led monitoring data collection on the 4 new WHO Europe indicators. So we will continue together with you to measure the engagement of CSOs and communities in TB response, and we will use the evidence that we get to show your role in this process. Besides, we will do an assessment of short TB treatment regimens, so what barriers are there, and we will also look at the statistics to inform what is happening with the short TB treatment regimens in our region. And also, we will implement the standardized package of services in the countries where it is already implemented to see how the social contracting is working, what challenges we have with this implementation, and how they can be addressed. The next area of work is advocacy, awareness, and activism. So we will continue to keep you informed in terms of implementation of the provisions of the high level TB meeting declaration, and together we will be engaged in advocacy campaigns, and we will try to address all the urgent issues as well as we did this year, and we will try to share the successes with you. The next area of our work will be capacity building and community empowerment. We can say that it is one of the key areas of our work throughout these 15 years. And in all the projects that we will be implementing, we will be focusing on this. We will continue working on the ABCs for TB activists. We see your interest, your enthusiasm around this, and we will be looking for opportunities for some mentorship programs. And the next one is engagement, networking, coordination, and partnership. I want to say that all the successes and achievements that we have and that we will have, they are not possible without tight cooperation with our regional and national partners. And we want to say that we are always open for new ideas, for new partnerships and collaborations in line with our vision, with our mission. We are always ready to support you, so we are happy to cooperate. Thank you, and see you in 2024. Thank you, Vlada. So are you all ready for the scope of activities that we plan for 2024? We hope that you will stay with us. Dear friends, we would like to ask now to give your feedback about what you have heard today. We would like to have some discussion with you. Maybe some of you would like to share with us. Please raise your hands. And maybe someone is raising a hand that I don't see it. Anyways, you know, we have anonymous feedback forms for such situations when people need to give it a thought and then share some ideas with us. So in the chat, you can see you can see the links to Google Forms and in Russian and in English. So please use this form to share your feedback. We are also asking you what, in your opinion, are the most relevant activities for the next 3 years that we are planned to include in our plan. So the questionnaire is available in Russian and in English, and it would be perfect if you would give your feedback right after our meeting today, not to forget about it. And if you still want to share questions or comments, you can do that right now. If we have no volunteers for now, we would like to make our traditional photo together with you. So if you can, please turn your camera on, and then you will be able to see yourself in our photo on Facebook. So please turn your cameras on. We give 2 more minutes so that for you to turn your cameras on for this photo. And we see that Oksana is prepared. She is wearing a New Year hat. Yes, thank you for supporting our idea. We realized that it will not be interesting for us to have a meeting just before the Christmas and New Year. Just for the photo, I will not be have these glasses. So let us smile and say Merry Christmas. Just wait a little bit. Christina Celani is now next to a Christmas tree. We can see her. Yeah, she has some decorations, and Christina is supporting us with this yellow color. Thank you. And another photo, and I'm happy to give the floor to Yulia Kalancha, who I'm sure has some words, special words for us, maybe some guiding words. Well, not so much guiding words, that's too serious. Dear colleagues, dear friends, I'm sure I can call you friends because we work and communicate quite a lot with you for a long time. So I want to share my deep gratitude to all of you because your support and our mutual efforts were the foundation for us to keep on working throughout this year. And we all know that miracles happen when we believe in them and when we act. And in TB Europe Coalition, we are striving to end TB by 2030, as you know. And on the eve of Christmas and New Year holidays, I want to wish all of us to aspire for new achievements, to set ambitious goals, to become better, to become stronger. And I hope that the upcoming 2024 is full of right decisions leading us to ending TB through partnership and through cooperation. So Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Thank you for always supporting us and our initiatives. And as Alia said, we are expecting and hoping for even more cooperation and partnership. And we are encouraging your initiative so that not just Secretariat shares our ideas with you, but you share your ideas with us, and we are ready to be a platform for your growth and development and implementation of your ideas. So we are happy to see you. We wish you all the best. If anybody wants to say anything, please use this opportunity while we still have it. We still have a couple of minutes. Thank you, Yulia. I see that Daniel has his hand raised. Yes, just briefly, I wanted to say that TBEC Secretariat is in Kiev, in Ukraine, and we wish Ukraine victory. We hope that all the team is safe and has their mental health also. This is also intact. So we hope that you're okay. Yeah, mental health, that's an issue. Thank you for this wish. And we do feel your support and understanding from our partners who are not in Ukraine, and we are so grateful for it. And we have Batma. Yeah, I had some problems with the sound, and I wanted to say that we would be happy if you would be engaged in budget advocacy more actively. So that is what we do. We advocate allocation of budget at the government level to make sure that government commits to allocate budget. And it is very important for us to engage young people, to mobilize community. So if you could include budget advocacy in your activities, that would be great. Thank you. Thank you so much, Batma. It is part of our strategy, actually, and we will scale up this work in the upcoming years. And as Lesa said, we have a standardized package of services that we developed together with our partners, and it stipulates that after the standard package is approved, there should be an allocation to support the provision of services by civil society and community organizations. So we will develop this area of work in the coming years, and we will cooperate with you for sure. Thank you for raising this question. Colleagues, I would like to remind you that in the chat we have links to our questionnaire, and you can share all your ideas with us. We will have a deep analysis of all your ideas, so please use this opportunity to share what you want to share with us. Thank you for your comment. Yes, and what Alia is saying, we are always very serious about the comments made by our members. So if you raise any questions, if you offer any feedback, we analyze it all, review it all, discuss and decide how we can make all these things happen. So please do not ignore this survey that we shared in the chat, because your voice is crucial in the work of TB Europe Coalition. Thank you, Yulia, for your comment. Okay, so dear friends, if we have no other volunteers to share some feedback, I want to thank you again for finding time in your busy schedule at the end of December. We understand that we all are very busy, but it's good that you still found 1 hour of time to join us. And I hope that next year we will keep in touch more often, hopefully face-to-face, not just online. And I'm sure that it will bring us to achieving great results that we all deserve. So Merry Christmas, Happy New Year again, and see you in 2024. And we keep in touch with our partners next year to implement many of the activities that we present.